I think to go on your first thought, you look at this film and there are obvious, situations where you do lose some things in translation. Comedy is a specific tone, drama is a specific tone within each culture. With that regard, you kind of have to play towards one or the other in some aspects. But I think what Director Bong does such a brilliant job of is that he sets up what is and not what he wants you to or manipulates you to try to see or feel. And in that same way, I think all the things that do get lost in translation kind of force in a beautiful way for people to focus not on the extra little tidbits here and there, but it forces you to engage into the main core story, which is this non-language relationship between an animal and this young girl. And so, all this extra stuff can be considered plot or zest or extra. It fills in this beautiful world that he's created, but the thing that doesn't require language is the thing that you see on the screen, which is this girl trying to find her best friend. And I think that conveys wholly throughout the film. So there's that aspect. There's also the aspect that every person that watches this film is going to get a different experience out of it in that same way too. So it's pretty exciting to be a part of that. And I think for me personally, in regard to your second part of the question, Kay was a very interesting experience for me. I literally played Kay, and I literally was Kay during the filming of the film. Actually, even right now, it is a surreal experience to stand right directly in the middle where I look like I'm from here. But there is the fact that I have to have a translator to translate for me. There's the fact that I sometimes am not understood fully. And in that same way, in America, there's a perception that someone that looks like me isn't from there. And so I ride this very lonely middle island line, and I share that with all the immigrants that inhabit America. And so it is that unique experience that I think was something that never has really been conveyed before in this type of way, and I really applaud Director Bowling, all the producers, Duo. He was wonderful in implementing and really pushing on the fact that this needed to be a Korean American person, because that's really the aspect that it's coming from. In regards to your greater question about Hollywood and identity and within, sometimes the world and Hollywood tends to paint people into boxes, and they like to see people in genres or types or perceptions of who they view them to be. And I understand that function. That's human nature, to want to understand their world, and so they just put things in categories. But I think if you're an artist and if you're an actor and you have a privilege to be able to work within this business, the cool thing that I get to pursue personally for me is my own aspects, who I am specifically. And I think, the Asian part of me is a beautiful part of me, but it's also just a part of me. And just as different as I am from each single individual in this room, I want to explore that, and I want to find that. And I think, there are obviously barriers that you have to deal with when you work within the context of things that need to put things in categories. But I think things are changing. I think things are moving forward. I think, I could get into a long conversation about the dynamics that are happening on both ends. I think Hollywood's trying to catch up, and I think Asian America also needs to catch up in generation and in perception of something like this to pursue. So, to make a long story short, I have hope for time. I think time will tell. And I really do feel like we are, as kind of an entire species, hopefully headed towards an exploration into what makes an individual and why the they want to be part of a collective. Last thought is, you look at the poster up there and you look at every single one of these characters and none of them are the same. Specifically to the ALF, you're talking about very specific different characters within the context of a collective, which is this group that has one singular mission. But every single person is enacting what they want. They're enacting their perspective. And so it begs the question in that great way, why did that specific individual join that group? And instead of it saying, this is a glob, which is the ALF, this is just a group, which is the ALF. You explore why is K there, why is J there, why is blonde there, silver, red, all those people, why are they there? And I think that's, again, a testament to the way that Director Bong views the world, which I think is correct, and the way that he portrays the world in his films, which I think is very refreshing.
네, 스티븐은 아주 긴 얘기를 아주 길게